What is up, y'all? It is KreyzMcKormik up in this motherfucking bitch, and welcome to another episode of the Crazy House Podcast. Couple of things that we've got going on for you. Not a whole lot of news as far as I've been told, but nevertheless, we're going to try to do what we can just as a reminder to everybody out there who hasn't figured it out yet. Super Chat is available, Streamlabs is available. We're playing the Stream Boss, $4.20 for every subscription, $4.20 for every dollar donated. And as of right now, I am currently attempting to upgrade my my capabilities with the Streamlabs and stuff like that. I actually want to upgrade to XSplit. But to get a lifetime thing, you got to have $200. I'm not sure how long it's going to be before I get capabilities of doing that on my own. Every little bit helps, but you never know what's going to be going on. And with that being said, also I have merch. I am a whore, and I sell merchandise. It's gross, but, you know, it is what it is. And then on top of that, also Patreon. And I've got a little bit extra when it concerns the Patreon and stuff, but I'll get into that later, probably towards the end of the night. So with that out of the way, I might as well go ahead and get into the news, and I have somebody creeping up behind me. I think it's my daughter. Hello, hello, daughter. Is that a unicorn? It's a what?
A fingerling. You put it on your finger.
It's a fingerling.
Yeah, that. And then with noises.
Okay.
Would you like ice cream?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Boo Boo. All right, so okay, there you go. Cameo appearance by my by one of my minions. My little girl. I call her Boo Boo. So first and foremost, I want to get something out of the way, and that is the fact that we've got the gathering of the Juggalos coming up, and already fresh out the gate, we have some bad news. The big Ballas passes have already been sold out. I know that there have been some people in the Jugganati that have been trying to get Ballas passes from day one, but there's some dickheads out there that decide, hey, we're gonna buy like 4 or 5 of them and then try to fucking turn around and try to get some extra cash. On top of that, the RVs have been sold out. Pavilions have been sold out. Every single one of the pavilions have been sold out at this given point, as well as all of the RV passes and the bootleg Ballas, as well as the All-Star Experience. All of those have been sold out, unfortunately. So if you were trying to do that, I mean, you know, it's basic, you know, it's basic knowledge. I mean, it's the 20th annual gathering of the Juggalos. We've been going to campgrounds since gathering 4. So if you haven't figured it out by now, this is kind of how it works. As soon as that comes in, everybody gobbles up every single one of the big Ballas passes and anything else of that nature. Since ICP started doing the All-Star Experience, where anybody with the All-Star Experience are able to, I believe what it is that all of the people who do the All-Star Experience are supposed to be able to come out on stage during Fago Armageddon and throw Fago. Well, I mean, what's the difference between being on stage and being in the crowd? You just lost, like, what, $400 or something like that? As far as I'm concerned, I would much rather be out in the crowd shooting Fagos up in the air, you know what I'm saying? Or in my case, the last gathering I went to, I got head checked by the ass of one Bushwick Bill as he was trying to tag a garbage can. But you know what? I think I would much rather have that. That's my All-Star Experience, getting butt checked by Bushwick Bill in the face. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, there's that consideration. Now, I don't know how long it's been happening, but apparently, I mean, motherfuckers left and right, they'll buy multiple passes, and then they'll flip them to try to gain a profit. Now, I, for one, am all about entrepreneurship. This is probably their argument. I mean, I like aside from doing YouTube, even though I don't make a whole lot of money doing this type of stuff, aside from YouTube, I do a lot of stuff. Uber, Lyft, Grubhub. I just added Amazon Flex to that. Uh, all sorts of ride sharing jobs. Like I'm considered myself self-employed. I'm an independent contractor to all of these. That is entrepreneurship, not fucking over the Juggalo community as far as I'm concerned. I don't feel that that's something that you ought to do. To buy a Ballas pass costs like what, $500, and what you're just going to, I believe that's how much it costs. I'm gonna have to double check that. I didn't take a very good look at it, but I'm going to go up on the interwebs right here real quick and jump up in on here, see how much those Ballas tickets cost. So let's see, waiting for it to load. Okay, $500 for the Big Ballas campsite. You mean to tell me that you are most likely going to end up spending, like, if you were to buy 2 Ballas sites, you spent $500 for one yourself, and you're gonna, and then you're gonna turn around, you're gonna buy another Ballas site to turn around and flip it for God knows how much money. Like, as far as Ballas are 500 according to what it says on that shit, but I bet you're probably looking at the fucking Juggalo discount from these people who bought 2 sites. No matter what it is, no matter how it goes, no matter how you slice it, Juggalos are gonna find a way in how to purchase these motherfuckers and then turn around and flip them for their own fucking profit. To me, that's kind of fucking them over. To fuck over your own Juggalo community. And as far as I'm concerned, that's seriously and severely juffing it. I don't give a fuck. As far as I'm concerned, if you bought 2, you should flip around and you should sell one to somebody else, so that for the exact same price, so that way somebody that is going to be up in there. So it basically kind of ruins the experience for everybody else, and then it just makes it so not really a whole lot of people really want to go out and do that. So everybody out there, this is what I'm saying to y'all. Everybody that's out there, if you bought more than 1 fucking pass for the Big Ballas, hell, any of this shit, if you bought any of these tickets and you plan on flipping them, that's just as bad as some of the other things that I've seen concerning tickets to the gathering. Now, like I said, the last gathering I went to was the one in 2012. Now, you want to know the bad shit when it concerns Tucker? You ain't got money. The baddest shit that ended up happening was the JCW World Heavyweight Champion at the time ended up fucking selling fake tickets to the gathering. Needless to say, that motherfucker had to lose the title. He got fired from Psychopathic Sports. And we haven't heard from him again. Corporal Robinson sold fake tickets to the gathering of the Juggalos. What purpose was that for? I don't know, but he got his just desserts over that shit. Now, all that is there, as far as I'm concerned, anybody that bought extra tickets for the All-Star Experience and you plan on flipping them, whether it be the Ballas sites, the bootleg Ballas sites, the pavilions, something tells me that a bunch of these motherfuckers are probably going to be buying the pavilions, and they're just going to end up renting out the pavilions to people and telling them, it's like, if a pavilion can hold like 7 tents or something like that, they'll probably, cut it out and make it so everybody has to pay like $100 to sleep under the fucking pavilion or something. Something like that, like some bullshit like that. Personally, if it was me, I'd buy the shit and I'd just be like, look, if you want to give me something for that, that's great. Maybe I can make it so in the end I've spent less than what I wanted. But I wouldn't try to make a profit. There's juggalos out there that will fuck, like if you're broke as fuck, I've had a situation because of the whole Juggalo thief kit that happened back in 2012. I ended up having Juggalos help and take care of us. Me and my crew during that point in time. And I was getting free hot dogs, free water, stuff like. I mean, there were still some people who were a little bit, that were like trying to say, hey, you still have to pay $3 for a fucking hot dog, even though a Kogel costs like 10 cents to fucking make, or something to that effect. But as far as I'm concerned, you're juffing it if you're trying to turn around and try to sell these tickets for a greater profit in order to try to make some money back. I said the same thing when motherfuckers were buying five copies of Juggalos Against Sanity, and then flipping them when they were $20 a piece, and flipping them to sell them for $200 a pop on certain fucking Facebook groups. That fucking what's the best way that I could say this? They preserve merchandise, and by preserve, I guess they mean fuck you out 1,000% of what the shit's actually worth before it officially ends up being released. Like that kind of stuff. Corpor's greedy. Juggalos are fucking. Like these specific Juggalos that I'm speaking on are fucking greedy. Because then you've got all these other motherfuckers that are out there that wanted Ballas sites, and you picked up as many as you can. Luckily, though, I guess I could say that you still have tickets available. So I guess that's a plus. The tickets are available at $195, which I fucking knew that was going to happen. And then also the car pass is available for 100 bones. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm glad. I'm happy about the fact that the tickets. That was definitely a good guess on my part. I was like, it's either going to be 195 or it's going to be an even smooth 200. And the reason why I said that is because ever since the first gathering, they have upped the price every year $5. It's very systematic, and every year they try to do a little bit more. So 200, $200, five shy of $200 for a ticket to the gathering of the Juggalos. I mean, that's honestly, it's probably not going to be that hard to fucking make. Yeah, general admission tickets will never sell out. But car passes are probably limited. Because I'm very sure that when it concerns the car passes, they don't want very many fucking vehicles parked in that bitch. But personally, like when I was with my ex, like we ended up going to this bluegrass festival called Wheatland, and man, like it was basically everybody could get their car up in there, everybody could fucking get their RV up in there, anybody could like tent up anywhere they wanted, they could put up their own fucking pavilions and all that other stuff, and we didn't have to pay an extra cent over that type of shit. Sometimes I honestly have to say that I think that in a sense maybe it's these prices. If these prices were not continually and gradually increasing, I fucking bet you that you'd probably have more Juggalos that would be willing to come to the gathering of the Juggalos. But then again, a lot of Juggalos in the Juggalo community do tend to have some of those last minute issues. Some of those last minute issues where something ends up happening and they aren't able to get their ticket, which is fine. I understand that. But for like if all you're planning to do is do $200 for a ticket, and then you have a whole year to actually be able to spread out 52 weeks. That's that could be that's 52 paychecks or 26 paychecks if you're if you're if you get paid every other week, things of that nature. And as far as I'm concerned, like I personally don't see how some ninjas have this much difficulty trying to get into the gathering of the Juggalos. You know what I'm saying? It's turning into Burning Man. Yeah, no shit, right? Yeah, it pretty much is turning into Burning Man. But I mean, probably, I don't know. Do you think it would be Burning Man just with less drugs or more drugs? That, I think, right there is the question. But, as I've said before, I have honestly given motherfuckers the capabilities to earn a little bit of scratch. All you have to do is just go into the description below. I have links for invite codes for Uber. I have Lyft, Grubhub, DoorDash. Uh, I think I have one for Postmates. I'm not sure. I haven't found like an invite code thing for Postmates and stuff like that. I mean, if people are really hurting for this type of stuff, get a side hustle. Use that money. Earn that little bit of money. Put it into a side bank account. We're 4 days. We're 4 days away from April, and after that we have 3 months. April, May, June. We have 4 months. 4 months before the gathering of the Juggalos. Now, if you're not able to do it yourself, I'm telling you, this is the way to go. You got extra time on your hands. Rather than sitting there frustrated about what you're doing in order to try to get money to go to the gathering, use that time in your vehicle, deliver some food, drop people off, all that kind of stuff, and make some scratch. I do this for a living. I make damn good money doing it too. So continuing along, speaking of other things that were being sold out, today was the day that Brother was officially released on psychopathicmerch.com, and it was only limited to 1,000 items, 1,000 copies of this, and already, like, I think within like a matter of hours, this motherfucker was already sold out. Now, just to be the curious guy that I am, I decided to take a look into it, and I found motherfuckers were buying 2, 3, 4, 5 of these at a time. I can understand certain aspects of this where you want one copy and leave it shrink wrapped and stuff like that and then have another copy to bump. That I can understand. But to buy 3 or 4 or 5, you already know that once these let me rephrase that. You already know if these motherfuckers actually do show up in your shit, in your mail, because we all know how well psychopathic merch is. Merch now is like we all know how well merch now is with getting you your merchandise. Me and Echo Side are still waiting on our fucking Shaggy Tudo CDs. We're still waiting on that shit. So, Shaggy, what's up with that? I think this belongs in a special carnival that I don't host, as far as I'm concerned. But, it is what it is. Now, I know that there are some people that are going to buy 1 or maybe 2 or something like that, things of that nature. But to buy like 3, 4, or 5 copies of this stuff, you are taking the capabilities out of the hands of other juggalos who want them at that price of $25. And guess what? People are already trying to flip these sons of bitches. I've seen it on certain Facebook groups. Y'all make me fucking sick. To utilize this and do that to that, like, this shit ain't Juggalo shit. To me, as far as I'm concerned, this ain't Juggalo shit. To do that type of stuff, to buy this fucking album and do this type of stuff for your own fucking profit, fuck you all. As far as I'm concerned. Fuck the Ballas. I don't give a fuck about them Ballas, motherfucker. Like, they want to ball like that? Well, we'll see what happens when they ball with their fucking RV flipped upside down. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, man. Like, I would rather do stuff on my own and not have to try to flip shit in order to try to get, a little bit of extra scratch in that sense. What? You're gonna, like, I've even seen motherfuckers that were selling the Brother CD paired with the Shaggy 2 Dope solo album and selling them for fucking $80. Both of them together for $80. Like, what the fuck? $80 for these two CDs just because they're collectors and you think that people are going to buy them? Fuck that. You know what? There's a little thing out there. You want to know what it's called? Pirate Bay. I will fucking torrent that shit because I know somebody's going to take those CDs just like Flip the Rat and somebody's going to torrent them. Somebody's going to be sharing them from Mediafire or something to that effect as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, but Danny Boy's saying that's how it goes, crazy. Juggalo's finna hustle. But let me ask the universal question, why? That's the answer that I bet you nobody is going to have a legitimate response to. Nobody is going to have a legitimate response to that question as to why. It's not on Spotify, Jers. These are collector's items. That's why these people are actually taking advantage of the situation. I mean, it's already bad enough that the Brother EP was already $25, and it's only got four tracks on them. Some of them have an additional 2 bonus tracks on them, and I can bet you that the people that bought these, they're gonna flip the ones that don't have the 2 bonus tracks on them. See, you know what, Tucker? You know what? That's funny because you say that. Because money makes the world go round, not positive vibes. Well, guess who bought more than one Ballas site who hosts a show called Positive Vibes? Yeah, somebody else is going to have some pretty negative vibes because they got to buy their Ballas site for $800. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I've got 2 copies of Fearless Fred Fury. One of them is going to end up going to my ex-girlfriend because, fuck it. And I got that album for free. Both of them are still in shrink wrap. I haven't even opened it. But one of them's going to go to my ex-girlfriend because I believe that she will fucking crack that bitch open and they will fucking listen to it. Now, Jackie Moon, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I can live my life without listening to the Brother EP, but as far as I'm concerned, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to buy it from somebody else, especially if I have to pay $40 for it when it was already priced at $25. Fuck them. This is my view. This is my point of view on the situation as far as I'm concerned. You know what's funny about that, Tucker? Once again, buy a sandwich or pay your bill with positive vibes. My positive vibes is all karma, motherfucker. Ever since I started, I would have to say, ever since I started doing the major grind and living in my mom's basement and stuff of that money, stuff of that nature, like karma has been on my side, and I've been fucking climbing that plateau. You know what I mean? So like, positive vibes is on my side as far as I'm concerned. The people who are doing this type of stuff, man, they're gonna get theirs. I don't know how, and I don't know when, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, but as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they'll get theirs in the end. So, with that being said, there is that situation. So let me go ahead and fade out the Hulkster, and we're gonna move on to a different stir. Because if y'all don't watch, what the fuck am I saying? Of course y'all watch Live with CPN. Whether you like him or you hate him, you can't fucking stay away from him. He's the fucking Howard Stern of the Juggalo YouTube community. So as far as I'm concerned, you probably ended up watching that episode on, on Sunday, where I ended up doing a guest spot on Live with CPN. And he ended up bringing up the fact that the Cuckster, the Cuckster ended up actually having a video that he released onto YouTube, which later on he deleted. So he deleted this video, and according to what he said, of course, not in the chat. He didn't say anything about this in the fucking live with CPN chat. He waited until after the end of the show, and then and then he ended up commenting. Turned out that he was doing a special podcast that was supposedly for Patreons only, but I ended up watching the show. I counted more people in their chat than he actually has fucking patrons. So it was a couple of patrons plus whomever he handpicked to be up in that bitch. And he decided to talk about in his live stream the very same things that we were making fun of him for. But the one thing that we ended up hitting hardest the hardest hitting thing that we ended up hitting Chuck with was hot chicken. That's right, we ended up hitting that dude with some hot chicken. And the reason why that is because of the way that he fucking said it. Now, what's funny about this is there were a lot of people who ended up jumping up on this. It was one of the most hilarious and organic fucking things that CPN and I have done in a long fucking time. And I will give Mr. McInhose the credit that he deserves. He was the first person to meme the shit out of it. But in all honesty, I felt that that meme was very quickly drawn, and I think that there were some people that ended up having better memes out there. This one actually was probably my favorite one out of all of them. When you, it's still funny to me. I don't give a fuck. And I'm probably gonna get bit. I'm probably gonna have somebody crying. But when you go to his 16-year-old's house and she has hot chicken. Now the funniest thing about this is right off the jump, he still did not understand the concept of the joke. Like that, and that to me is probably the funniest damn thing. I don't care about Spike at this point in time. I'm talking about this dude right here, because this dude, he absolutely raged about the whole situation. And Chuck, I don't care if you're watching or not, but let's just say for the sake of argument that you are. If you try to say under any circumstances that you did not rage at that type of stuff, you're lying to yourself, bro. We know. We know. I don't know what makes it even harder, the fact that we used this to make fun of you, or the fact that you treat it just like fucking Kanye West treats the gay fish joke. Like it's got to be one of the two. And I thought it was probably one of the most hilarious moments that I've had. I don't know what the hell my camera's doing. There we go. So there is that, and I thought that was probably one of the most hilarious. Yeah, McInhose, yours was weak sauce. It was very low energy. But to be perfectly honest, I mean, hey, for a rush job, it wasn't that bad. But ever since then, ever since that moment, I mean, it's been less than a week, and already the meme has pretty much taken a life of its own. I think it's hilarious. It is one of the most hilarious fucking things that I've seen in a very long time. And it was really interesting to me because of the fact that CPN usually does have a good way with keeping his composure, but hot chicken, and he just absolutely lost his motherfucking shit. And I thought that was, to be totally honest, I think it got to a point where I started laughing because of him laughing, and he started laughing harder because of how hard I was laughing, and it just kind of got worse from there. Like, I almost choked to death. I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. I literally could not breathe at this point. Although, it has spread like wildfire at this point in time. But some people have already told me that the chicken is no longer hot. The chicken has gotten cold, and it is time to put it into the fridge. I don't know personally. I mean, like twice, like the day after that event, the first thing that I was able to, as soon as I had the chance, I went out and I got myself some hot chicken, chicken tenders from McDonald's, and they were delicious and they were hot. Um, but of course, that didn't last very long, unfortunately. Um, so I just get, I gave the remaining pieces to my daughter and the squirt, and so she was grateful for that. Although today I ended up having a Mick chicken twice, as a matter of fact. 2 times today I ended up going out and getting a Mick chicken with cheese and putting Big Mac sauce on it. That has changed my life for the better as far as I'm concerned. Right? I mean, if y'all if y'all can remember back to Tuesday, or not Tuesday, but if y'all can remember back to your Monday, throw out them dragon emojis if you went and got yourself a nice piece of hot chicken. Hot chicken. I'm just gonna leave that meme up there for hilarity's sake, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, some roach coaches will be selling hot chicken at the gathering, and they will sell it in an hour, and people will be chanting hot chicken. I'm specifically hoping. Let's see. I'll send you some of the memes that grew into their own thing on Facebook. Please do, Mac and Hose, and I'll fucking post them up on here. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I mean, in a short matter of time, like, in a very short matter of time, the hot chicken thing ended up getting a life of its own. And it's gotten bigger, it's gotten worse, it's gotten way out of control. And the beautiful thing about all of this is, I strictly do not believe that Chuck, still as of right now, does not understand the concept of the joke. And that's what makes it even funnier to me, as far as I'm concerned. Oh my god. Oh yes. Yes, fam. Yes. All right, I'm going to have to fucking throw these up on here and see. Okay, so let me go ahead and start removing some of these images so I can try to find these. Because oh my god, hold up a second. All right, I'm gonna have to save these real quick. But these are oh fuck. All right. Let me save these. Nope. I went the wrong way. Okay, so okay, this one looks a little crude, but I don't care. Um these are definitely worth it. So let's see. Okay, let me try to get these up here as quickly as I can. So let's see. Let me go ahead and delete some of these just for the sake of. Okay. Oh, okay. So all right. So now I'm going to have to find these real quick. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So, okay, y'all, I'm going to show you. Here's one of them. Let me resize that. And I'm going to have to. Okay, so here's one of them. Hold up. All right, here we go. Here's one of them that Mac and Hose ended up sending me. I pissed in your hot chicken, fam. Ha 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 ha. Hoo hoo hee 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 ha. Oh yes, that's a funny one. All right, so let me all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. Hold up. Okay, so there's that one. Let's see. Here's the second one that he. This one's funny. 15 minutes in the hot chicken and chill, and he looking at you like this. Look at his eyes. Oh. Oh God! Although this last one is an absolute banger. Dude, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go to hell for these. I don't care though. Damn. But this next one, dog. This next one. Hold on a second. I swear to God, like this is what he looked like when he saw that chicken shack as he was walking away from the long ass line to go see Token, and he saw a he saw a chicken shack, and he was just like, I don't care, Tucker. That's why he was so fucking hyphy when he was doing that live stream for 3 minutes. Just fucking cut and dry, dog. That's like, damn, who who made that? Because that just straight up bodied him. Oh. Oh my God! Oh, the Nightbot in the chat. Oh, popped up at the right time. Nightbot just popped in at the right time in the chat. Just hot chicken. Now, the one thing I will have to say to Chuck's credit is that he is trying to do what he can to try to dispel the hot chicken. I'm just going to leave that up there because, reasons. Now, Chuck has actually tried to dispel the hot chicken thing by using it as a hashtag and things of that nature. But see, here's the thing about that, though, Chuck. You can't do it because you're not in on the joke. You don't understand it. And that's what makes it even funnier. It just makes you fucking look dumber than you already look. Just based off of the fact that you don't understand hot chicken. Now, I will say this, though. Ever since Sunday, I have been doing Grubhub for a living, and a whole shit ton of orders. Up to this point, I never realized this. I never paid attention, but about 90% of my orders has something to do with chicken. Not just any kind of chicken. Hot chicken. And as far as I'm concerned, it just makes my job even more enjoyable. And it makes me want to do my job a little bit more often. It's not even at a point yet where I don't want to fucking work. It just rehabilitated my ability to go out and do my fucking job. You know what I'm saying? I'm great. I'm glad that this ended up happening. The chicken was foretold in the book of Loaf. What's better money, Grubhub, Lyft, or Uber? As of right now, between those three, Grubhub is more guaranteed money. Of course, that shit is hilarious. Charles Reeves is correct. Now, it's funny. This whole situation has been an absolute laugh riot, and I think the longer it takes for him to get it, because I ain't telling him shit. I don't think anybody's gonna tell him shit. I think this is one of those things where Chuck is gonna have to figure it out for himself. And the longer it takes him, the funnier it gets. You got to understand, though. I think personally, I think the word chicken in and of itself is actually a funny word. Just hearing it is kind of comedy in and of itself. But the way that we utilized it, that's what makes it funny. And I ended up saying this as well before. I honestly think CPN and I were that close to putting Kurt D in traction because of how hard we had him laughing. Jesus died for Chuck to be able to get hot chicken. Goddamn right. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's all that I had. But I guess I could say that. But there is one more thing. Since we're on the topic of the Cuckster, I guess I could possibly say that there is one more thing that we can actually bring up into the situation. And that is the fact that dude ended up having some ordeal with one of our homies, Jinzo. And ended up saying that the homie Jinzo was he was basically another one of those Juggalo rappers that is pretty much nothing more than just a fucking one-trick pony. So to respond to that, Jinzo ended up creating a diss track. Each verse was a different beat. And because of this, because of the samples that he ended up using, I'm not able to play it. But what I can do instead is I can look up homies. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at homies, YouTube channel. And I'll play, I'll put the link to it in the description. Instead of being able to play it, because if I play the song, fully, then I'm not going to be able to get, I'll basically body my own monetization off of this, and that's the last thing I need at this given point in time, due to the fact that I'm trying to actually, with the amount of time that I have left within the month, I think I'm about $15 away from yeah, I'm about $15 away from earning a full $100, and that's something that I'm trying to do right now. So the last thing I really need at this given point in time is to do that. But as of right now, changes are being saved, and it should be taken care of now. It should be in the description as of right now. The link to the Jinzo diss track. So after the show, go ahead and give it a listen on your own, and check that out. It's actually pretty good. It's three different tracks. One track for each verse, and it actually really shows that Jinzo not only has the capabilities to call this motherfucker out, but he's also got bars and he's got depth. So he's definitely not a one-trick pony. So I thought that was actually pretty dope. Dude ended up making a pretty damn good track. And let's see. So yeah, definitely want to get that to get that kind of shit going. So now I have absolutely nothing else on the plate when it concerns news and the fuckery that goes on around here and hot chicken. The chicken is now cold at this point, so who knows where the rest of this is going to go. But one thing I do want to talk about is basically the consistency of this channel. So, as for a lot of people who have been watching this channel, uh, I have kind of gone into somewhat of a transition where I've been playing a lot more video games and doing live streams on this channel as opposed to putting it out on my gaming channel or Twitch or anything of that nature. Mainly, I've been playing this game, Final Fantasy III, for the Famicom, and I've been putting it out on there. So what I have done, I don't have as big an audience doing that type of stuff uh, as I do doing the podcasting. So obviously, the podcasting is going to be the more popular of the situations, even though I know that I have a small number of people that are watching any and all of it. But nevertheless, I'm still happy with the amount of people that I do have watching it. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's cool that I have people that are checking my shit out. But I'm basically trying to do things differently with this channel. And one of the things that I wanted to do, because of the fact that this is the betterment of all of my channels. So I guess what I should probably be doing is just hubbing everything here together. I know that there are a lot of people who say, they don't think that it's a good idea to have variety channels where, you have all these different kinds of videos where you have an entertainment video here and a how-to video there and a gaming stream there, things of that nature. I want to try to see if I can be the ops specifically on that. So what I am planning to do with this channel is starting now. I want to start doing this podcast every Wednesday, 9 p.m. So that way y'all motherfuckers know when I'm going to be doing the specific podcast. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because consistency is the way to go when it concerns these things. As long as people constantly are remembering Wednesday, 9 o'clock, that's when I have my podcast. And then other days are going to have different things. So, well, yeah, Skinny G. I mean, take a look at the way CPN has been doing his shit. Fridays, Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody knows that's when he's on. And he's been consistent with it for as long as he has, every week. So people just know exactly when he's going to be on. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so the way I look at it, if I start doing the same thing, that should help increase my shit. As for the other days, I have some other ideas about what it is that I would like to do. One of those do actually, yeah, I know, Skinny G. But mainly the whole thing with the Final Fantasy stuff and everything of that nature is, as of right now, the Final Fantasy game that I've been playing, it's kind of just been going and going and going in motion. So at least when people want to see me do my Crazy House podcast, now Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every single week, unless something big fucking happens, then I will be doing the show. For the other 6 days, there are probably very little things that I actually have planned. So for the days that I don't have this type of stuff planned, chances are I'll probably end up be playing Final Fantasy. So at least now you know when I'm going to be doing the podcast. As for some of the other things that I do here on YouTube, there's in the future, I'm thinking starting next month, I'm going to be setting specific times, probably Saturday, maybe Sunday, around the same amount of time, whether it be 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or something to that effect. Well, I mean, it's already insane here, so why change the name? So I'm thinking possibly sometime during the weekend, whether it be on probably Sunday, because Friday nights and Saturday nights with my job is usually the busiest. So there's no need for me to be out doing podcasting during the times that it's at its busiest. So I'm thinking Sunday, 9 p.m. Chances are I'm probably going to end up doing a different complete podcast. Maybe if it doesn't coincide with, I don't know, Game of Thrones, then chances are that, because Game of Thrones is actually going to be starting next month. So probably going to set it so right directly after Game of Thrones, I'll end up starting to do a podcast that's going to involve my patrons. So how it's going to work, and this is actually an idea that I've been sharing with one of my patrons, is that one of the weeks that I have, depending on the tier that the patron is in, they are going to get a specific invite code to come and join me for a hangout. It will be publicly broadcasted live on this channel, and everybody will be able to just have a chill stream. If the event ends up occurring that there is a 5-week, if there's like a 5-episode month where there's five Sundays out of the month or something to that effect, that would probably just be like, okay, any and all patrons are able to come in here. So if you want to participate in this is the way to go when it concerns the patrons, when it concerns the Patreon. So if you want to participate in this, then you're going to want to become a patron. Each patron is, each Patreon is going to have a different tier, and the higher that you go, the later in the month that you're going to be a part of. So far as I'm concerned, this is one of those things that's going to be in the works until I start getting, as soon as I start getting more and more patrons up in that motherfucker, that's how I'm looking into it. So eventually it can be up to a point where, because with a hangout, you're only allowed to have a maximum of 10 people, and the longer that the thing goes, the better it's going to be. But there's going to be people who are going to want to stay and things of that nature because there's no time limit to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that's in testing, and I want to try to see if that'll work out. So probably, I don't know, maybe this weekend because of the time frame that we're in. I'd have to take a look. Yeah, it wouldn't be this coming weekend. Because this weekend, the 31st is on a Sunday. But the 7th of April would be when I start that shit. So I would like to see if that is something that would work, and it does help me out a little bit, as well as be able to entertain and keep things going with y'all. Eventually, there might be a point in time where I'll just have an open hangout. Anybody who wants in, all they have to do is just let me know that they want to be in a hangout, and that'll be that. Other than that, I'm also thinking maybe I might have a set day where I'll do the fucking the what is it, the public domain, the public domain viewing, or something like that, because that was something that I was thinking about doing a little while ago, where I take a movie that's or a movie or a TV show or a series of TV shows that are in the public domain and just watch them and comment on the shit and make fun of it. So that way you guys in the chat can also participate in making fun of it as well, and we can just make fun of old movies. Make fun of them because they're silent films or they're black and white or slapstick or something like that. And holy shit, fucking, we have Charlie Chaplin dressed up like Adolf Hitler or something like that. Ain't that kind of fucked up? Something to that effect. So, these are some other things that I plan to actually do with my channel. So, but as of right now, what is definitely set in stone? What is definitely set in stone is that Wednesdays, 9 p.m. every week from here on out, you will have an episode of the Crazy House podcast. And I will do my very best to try to ensure that there are going to be things newsworthy within the Juggalo community or something that's really fucked up. And as I continue to do this show, there will be more and more improvements. I hope, because of how fucked up my channel already is and how fucked up my schedule already is. So with that being said, I do want to say thank you to everybody that was watching and everybody that was participating in the chat. It's 10 o'clock now. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Unfortunately, I didn't see very many people that participated with the stream boss. I didn't even see that ticker go down one iota. But it is what it is. I'm not necessarily oh, wait, what? If someone would do a wrestling podcast Monday or Tuesday, that would be awesome. The ones I have found are gay as fuck. Now, on one hand, I could probably do that type of stuff. Where like, maybe what I can do is I can hook up the TV or something like that, so that way we can watch wrestling. And then after that, we'll just sit there and watch wrestling from the day prior, something to that effect. I don't know. That's kind of a harder thing to do, just due to the fact that, wrestling is recorded live. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that makes it real tough, is the fact that, WWE is recorded live, and I wouldn't be able to do anything with it until afterwards. That's probably one of the hardest things to do. It's either that or yeah, I know what you're saying, Skinny G, but like the problem with it is, like, what am I supposed to do? Hook it up to the to my game capture, and then we all watch it with the commercials. I think I might get in trouble with that because of the way that the commercials roll and shit like that. And I really don't want to get in trouble over shit like that. You know what I mean? So, that's the last thing I want to do is get in trouble with that type of stuff. Because I monetize all of my stuff, and I don't want my platform to get demonetized or actually terminated because of the stuff that I'm putting up on there. No, don't put it on YouTube. Like, where the hell am I supposed to put it? On Twitch? Am I supposed to put it on Mixer? Facebook even? I mean, I could probably do that. It's not like I'm getting paid on Facebook anyways. Like, oh, okay. So just like have it play in the background and then just comment and talk shit on it while I'm watching it. Like, that's basically what you're saying? Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. Well, with that being said, I don't know. Maybe Skinny G, I'll look into it. I mean, I do love me some wrestling. But one of the things that would be problematic though is the pay-per-views, because if I put the wrestling on there, then I would. There are other podcasts that do that, but they do. Yeah, I mean well, that's because they don't have the Juggalo twist on it, and not to mention they're probably I don't know, if it was me, I'd probably be like, oh, they botched that, and throw in a whole bunch of wrestling lingo and shit. So, but all right. So it's past 10. I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. Skinny G, that does give me some thoughts. I'll have to marinate on that and see if there's something that I can do to bring that in. I have the network. I know it's $9.99, All right. So with that being said, I am KreyzMcKormik. Thank you to everybody that was watching and participating in the chat. So until next time, I'm out this motherfucking bitch. Deuces.